day of March. So happy March, happy Sunday. Today's a holy day, boys, so I hope you haven't been getting up to dangerous business, unholy business, huh? Trying to move to these girls, yeah? Today's a holy day. We don't do that on Sundays, yeah? We keep it in our pants. I'm joking. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's a free world. But anyway, I hope you're all doing well, boys. Hope you've had a pretty chill, relaxed end to the week. Um, And yeah, I mean, I just literally ate a big double bacon cheeseburger from Burger King because I had a very long, busy day and I hadn't eaten anything in hours. So I thought, you know what, let me just treat myself to a big, juicy burger with onion rings. So judge me if you want. Look, I'm skinny, so I can eat whatever I want. But I know I'm getting a little bit older now. And I think once I hit 30, I might have to be a little bit more conscious about what I put in my body. And I know my client Kevin is judging me right now because Kevin is a very healthy young man. He likes to eat very healthy food. So I know he's watching this thinking, oh my God, why is Ian still eating this junk food? But anyway, also, update on the trim. I'll be getting a trim tomorrow. So I'm going to get a trim tomorrow. My barber came back from Paris. Shout out to my barber. A Train. I'll call him A Train for now. I won't disclose his full government name, but he's a super cool guy. But yeah, book the trim in for tomorrow, so you guys will finally get to see me rocking the fade. It's been so long since I had the fade, man. I think the last time I would have had a fade on my videos was my YouTube channel. Sorry, my Thailand series. What am I saying? Oh my god, I can't even speak now. It's that burger. The burger and the fat has got into my brain. But we'll push on either way. Enough rambling about my life. You see the live stream. You don't know what you don't know. So today's the last stream for my 4 day immersion with Kevin. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to have a proper full final day of coaching because Kevin had a last minute family emergency, which of course I said that's completely fine. Of course, family first over everything. So we decided to just cut the day short before we really got out and done any approaches. So he went back to the Midlands, where he's from, and I wished him well. But we still spent some time together. And of course, I have a lot of footage. I mean, dozens. I mean, at this point, probably 60, 70 GB of 4K footage of him approaching. So we just spent an hour or so talking through the immersion, his experience, how he found it, the main sticking points. And we went through footage from yesterday. And of course, I'd already gone through footage with Kevin on the previous days, but today he said something to me which was really interesting, which was he acknowledged that it's so important for him to see himself on camera and to hear himself with audio, crisp audio. And additionally, it's important for him to get my perspective on what I hear because he very quickly realized that there are ways that he approaches or there are certain bodily, let's say, behaviors, right? Like body language and certain actions in terms of how he stands, how he moves, that he wouldn't have been aware of had it not been for getting a camera pointed at him, right? And as he was watching the videos closely, he was kind of leaning in like this, like watching them and breaking them down because I wanted to just let him watch it by himself and come to his own conclusions as to why I liked this particular approach versus why I didn't like this other one. And he just looked at me and said, it's so valuable to have this footage and to see it to see myself from a third person perspective because then you can see how everything unfolds. And he made another great point where he said if he was by himself and he hadn't reached out and he didn't have the third eye perspective, then he and he, these were Kevin's words. Kevin said he might have spent a year or he might have spent a couple of months basically repping out the wrong technique again and again and again and banging his head against the wall without any idea as to why it wasn't working. And I told him exactly. I mean, that's exactly how I felt because even though I had some success when I was out solo, there were certain aspects of my approach, especially how I sounded, that just weren't as good as they could have been. And again, some people might just want to be okay at cold approach, but for those of you who want to get good and above and beyond good, then you will have to tweak and tighten up your conversation and your stop and your conviction, and you want to maximize on in all these areas. And I'm someone who likes to do something properly. If I'm going to learn a skill, if I'm going to pay money to learn a skill, if I'm going to invest not just my time and money, but my mental energy, this skill takes a lot from you, especially at the fucking start. So if I'm going to put all this energy into this skill, then I might as well try to be as good as possible. Not perfect, because there's no such thing as, let's say, the perfect approach, and we just want to get really good. So maybe the right word to use is elite. But again, you don't have to be elite to get results with this skill set. But you want to be good. You want to really wake up every morning and know that I can pull the trigger at any point. And that comes from knowing every aspect of your approach in terms of the weaknesses. And Kevin immediately, having gone through this coaching process, he knew that there are certain patterns that he shows in his approaches that he's only aware of because he's watched it back or because I've pointed it out. Because there were some times where, we went through one of the clips where Kevin was talking to one of the girls, and he could kind of tell that, well, he thought that the conversation was okay. It was a pretty short one, nothing crazy. And to be fair, his stop was good. Everything about the approach was pretty good, but I singled out that particular clip because of the conversation. And he couldn't quite see what I could see, or what I could hear rather, in the way that he was talking and the way that he responded in terms of his tonality, his inflections. And until I pointed it out and then told him to listen to it again, he realized, oh, I see what you mean now. Right. And of course, by the way, Kevin absolutely killed it. And so with the immersion, he must have done at least 70, 80 approaches, considering that we didn't even get the day four. And this is somebody who had never done an approach before he worked with me. So Kevin knows that I've been, singing his praises beyond, um, far and beyond, because he absolutely exceeded what I set out for him to do. And he did it with so much grit and enthusiasm and determination, even though there were points where I pushed him really hard and he could feel it mentally. It was exhausting, but he still followed my initiative. He still followed my guidance and feedback and implemented it and kept on going. And he developed, he got better and better. His approach is much better. His approach is pretty good, if I'm being honest. And we can certainly get him results. And of course, we're still going to work together to iron out the rest of the sticking points that we discussed. But, you guys will see on his first day, he got a date, his first date in 2 years. So progress was made, and lots of positive reference experiences. So many. Yeah, one girl was telling him, yeah, guys need to do this more. Guys need to approach more. So thank you so much for coming up to me. I mean, girls telling him he looked good. They liked his outfits. Girls saying, yeah, I've got a boyfriend, but I really appreciate it. That's so sweet. So lots of positive experiences from somebody who was once super afraid, once deadly afraid that he would get a bad reaction. I mean, I once, as I've said before, I like to get my clients to write down a bunch of the fears that they have going into their approaches, because because they haven't done one before, or because, yeah, but typically guys who haven't done an approach before have all these preconceived fears on what's going to happen, whether the girl's going to reject them, call them a creep, or people are going to intervene and shame him, or he's going to get laughed at, or, you know, he'll lose his sense of self-worth and burst into flames. I don't know, right? But I like to ask my clients to be specific about those fears so that we can just talk them through and understand if these are rational, irrational, or is it just something that we come up with because we saw it happen online, or do we need to think about this more? And it's just a way for us to make the fears more real. But yeah, Kevin was somebody who had those fears, just like I had those fears when I started. And now he's had the real life experience, the real world, practical, empirical experience of doing the approaches himself, getting the girls to stop by himself with conviction, being loud, being direct, commanding that attention, owning that spotlight, having the conversations, getting the Instagrams. He got Instagrams, he got numbers, and of course he got that date on day one. So he's got all the positive reference experiences that he needs to fly with it. And so I know he will. And the only way is up from here. He knows that we've already discussed the post immersion aftercare plan in terms of how I'll support him and how we'll structure the interactions between us virtually going forward. But he, as I expected, he told me, look, I want to build on this. I don't want to lose momentum. So, and I'll be there to hold him accountable either way. But he's definitely gonna do well with this, and I can't wait to update you boys on his journey. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to discuss on this live stream, is just the fact that he told me that he really valued the fact that he could see himself and hear himself, because otherwise it would have been him just pissing in the wind trying to figure out what was going wrong. And yeah, again, if any of that resonates with you and you don't want to do all the guesswork, you don't want to bang your head against the wall, making the same mistakes, feeling bad about it, because this isn't an easy skill, and you're much better off just building it with somebody by your side. I certainly found that to be incredibly helpful, and now I'm offering that to guys as well. So if you are interested and you want to basically correct this part of your life and improve it and drastically transform it so that you don't have to worry about girls anymore, then yeah, click the link in the description, book a call with me. We'll have a nice one-to-one. We'll just figure out if I think you're a good fit and what I think you need to do in order to get to where you want to get to. And if I think we are a good fit, then we can work together. But if not, you'll still get lots of nice one-to-one personalized feedback and value and my opinion on what you can do to improve your chances to get success with cold approach, because this is a really important area of life, and it's really important to sort this part of life out, because life is what, health, wealth, relationships, and you know you could argue we have a wealth crisis with the economy, health. Let's say most guys watching this content hopefully are healthy. Of course, there's a maybe somewhat of an obesity crisis in America, but in terms of relationships, I mean, we all know there's just a big crisis. But guys like me, guys like Kevin, we're saying we're not gonna back down. We're not gonna give in. We're not gonna give up just because the dating apps didn't work for us, just because we don't prefer to be in bars and nightclubs every single weekend. We're not gonna give up. We're not gonna say that we don't deserve to find romantic connection, love, fun, amazing experiences around the world with different women and having these amazing magical romances. We're not gonna deny ourselves the opportunity for that just because the world has gone in a certain direction. Fuck that. No, we're gonna stand up, we're gonna grab our big balls, we're gonna put them on the table, and we're gonna say, fuck it. We'll do what it takes. We will do what it takes through fire and through force. That's the way that I work, that's the way that I think. Like, whatever the situation is, we must adapt or we die. It's simple. Adapt or die. And so I'm there for the guys who want to adapt and who want to have fun along the way, because once you get good at this, it gets fun. And more importantly, you just become a different kind of guy. Period. You become a different kind of individual, a different kind of man who is unrecognizable once you've embarked on this proper transformation of self-development and self-discovery. So if that resonates with you, then I'm waiting for you at the dock, ready to ship off into the sunset. Otherwise, that's it. Wrapping up the 4 days of coaching with Kevin. And yeah, obviously, I'll be going to Rome, Italy on Tuesday, flying out Tuesday, and I'm starting the coaching on Wednesday, and that'll be for 4 days as well. So yeah, my client Giacomo, I'll be seeing him out there in beautiful Roma. And yeah, of course, I'll keep you guys updated on that journey, on that coaching experience. But yeah, really excited to work with Giacomo. Super cool guy, and yeah, should be a good time out there. So yeah, you guys are gonna have a good time listening in on how it's going. But I've not been to Rome, not been to Italy myself, so I'm looking forward to a new country, new culture. I'm pretty sure Rome is where they have the Colosseum. I wonder if that's where they filmed Gladiator, because I watched Gladiator the first time for the first time in a while. Sorry, I watched Gladiator for the first time ever because my old flatmate kept on telling me, "Dude, you have to watch Gladiator," and I'm like, "Bruh, chill. I was born in 1997. Like that movie came out when I was probably like 5 or something." But yeah, maybe I have to definitely go and do some touristy stuff on the first day because I'm getting to Rome on Tuesday morning. So, and I think my Airbnb check-in is like 3 p.m. So I'll probably just, yeah, I'll just spend Tuesday vlogging. So I will put some content out, guys. I know some of you guys love the Thailand vlogs. So I will definitely do that out in Rome. Although my priority is the coaching client first, of course. But yeah, I'll definitely film some content when I can in terms of just approaching. And I will approach as well. I'll try and set up a few dates, especially on that first day. Try and get a date for that night. Again, I can't predict it, so I don't know, but I know I can do it. So just a case of bumping into the girls who like me. So we'll try and get that as well. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a little bit of footage on the day, right? But yeah, keep your eyes open for that one. Keep them peeled. Otherwise, until then, have a good night. Get some good rest. Get your 8 hours of sleep. And I will see you in the next live stream. Oh, and by the way, boys, I did it. Consecutive live streams every single day in February. Come on, guys. Come on, let's go. I'm proud of myself for that. Proud of myself for sticking with that. There were some days where I was getting to midnight. You know when you're doing a live stream every single day and it's like 11 p.m. and you're like, holy shit, I've only got an hour left and I haven't even eaten dinner yet. I think that was how I felt on my birthday one, because the birthday I went out to get dinner with my brother, got back home, it was pretty late. I was also really, really tired. And I'm sure on that live stream, I don't even know what I talked about. Maybe I talked about some random esoteric topic. But yeah, there were a few times where I was cutting it close and maybe I was about to miss a day, but I'm pretty sure I banged out every single day. So that's 28 consecutive live streams. So, and don't get it twisted, I'm still going to do more live streams and I'll open up the chat, boys. I know you guys have been asking me to open up the chat, so I will open up the chat at some point. But yeah, until then, just wait for the next batch of content. But either way, now I'm officially signing off now because I have to go to bed and these bright lights are messing up my sleep schedule. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.